is another key vista, this time showing the core. It's a visual payoff for the player's success in getting here, and simultaneously, a way to present the player with a view of the next challenge.
Remélem Dr. Kleinernek igaza volt. Lássuk, át tudunk-e jutni a vezérlőtermen.
Creating a believable, interesting relationship between Gordon and Alex is made a lot tougher by the fact that Gordon never talks. This elevator scene presented a nice little opportunity to have Alex express some emotion in a situation where Gordon isn't really in a position to respond.
Talán még nincs késő újra bekapcsolni a védmezőt. Még jó, hogy te tudod, mit csinálsz. Hát, itt a liften. Gordon, én. Bár a segítségedre lehetnék még. Siess vissza.
Figyelem! Veszélyes sugárzás szint észlelve.
The core design posed a lot of difficult challenges. Generally speaking, if the gameplay in a particular map isn't working, we can simply cut the entire area. This wasn't true of the core, because we knew it was critical to the story. On top of that, designing Citadel gameplay is often a bigger challenge than working out areas in City 17, largely because Citadel levels have a narrow set of gameplay tools. There are less enemy types available, and the player is usually only armed with the gravity gun. Because of this, we had to go through many iterations of the core design. One of the earlier prototypes was a kind of futuristic version of Operation, where players had to use the gravity gun to cleanly manipulate rods into slots in the core. That didn't work, partly because playtesters found that their view was obstructed by the rods, which made it frustratingly difficult to manipulate them with any kind of precision. We prototyped, playtested, and abandoned several other designs until we finally arrived at one that was fun, while still being challenging enough to give players the sense that they'd accomplished a significant goal.
The difference between skill levels isn't just a matter of damage dealt and received. For instance, in easy mode, we increase the length of time a combine ball survives before exploding, putting less pressure on the player to get the ball into a socket.
ball tubes are an example of us working within our available toolkit to create a puzzle around a recognized concept. As a physical navigation puzzle, it's different from what the player has experienced before, and it's challenging while not being a binary succeed or fail situation. There are a number of ways to approach this puzzle. In addition to simply dodging, jumping, or ducking the balls, the player can grab or deflect them with his gravity gun, or pick up the hatch and use it as a shield to block the incoming barrage.
The Combine core was another new space that needed to stand out from the rest of the environment. We wanted the core to look hot and dangerous, but still be distinct from the fires and the cool blues of the rest of the Citadel. The core became the primary light source in this space, and in conjunction with the white set of Combine materials, we created an extreme contrast to the normally dark values of the Citadel metals.
The core sphere was one of the last special effects that we finished. To achieve this effect, the core uses animated textures, flow maps, normal map refraction and specularity, as well as volumetric particulate matter rendering, which takes advantage of the core being a sphere.
The higher contrast white Combine motif of the core sets it apart from the rest of the Citadel and heightens its importance within the visual style of Combine aesthetics. It also helps enhance the perception of heat and radiation in the space.
The core was a central element of this part of the game, and as much as possible, we wanted to constantly reinforce its importance. Zigzagging through the space in 3 dimensions while navigating a variety of challenges let us present a few different visual and gameplay perspectives on the same space. By letting the player see the core from a bunch of different angles, we were able to give them a real sense of its scale.
The second ball tube presents a variation of the pattern the player learned in the first ball tube. While the first tube can be crossed slowly, by crouching and maneuvering your way up, the second ratchets up the pace, requiring a quicker, more responsive approach. The goal of this logic puzzle isn't figuring out that you need to put balls in batteries. It's coming to the realization that, by filling all of them, you've denied yourself an exit, and that you have to desocket one, climb on the lift, and then resocket it. Sparks guide the player to the source of the balls, which happens to be the tube they just passed through.
Monitor scenes, such as this video transmission from Dr. Mossman, aren't simply pre-rendered video. These scenes actually unfold live in an inaccessible section of the map, while being projected onto the monitor screen. Here's Dr. Mossman in the small Arctic base set. It's not nearly as far away from the Citadel's core control room as it appears to be in the level.
Gordon, megcsináltad! A védrendszer újra a helyén van. Nem tart ki örökké, de legalább nyertünk egy kis időt. Míg te bent voltál, kutakodtam az adatok között. Egy láncreakciót akartak elindítani, de a Citadella elpusztítása csak mellékhatás. Mivel Brin reaktorát elintéztük, ez az egyetlen mód, hogy adatcsomagot küldjenek oda, ahonnan jöttek. Nem tudom, mit tartalmazhat a csomag, de elég fontos lehet, ha a Citadellát is képesek feláldozni, csak azért, hogy elküldjék. Azonnal el kell vinnünk apuhoz és dr. Kleinerhez a helyőrségre. Letöltök egy másolatot. Bármi is ez, olyan érzésem van, ez mindannyiunknak rossz hír. Van itt még valami. Ez Judith. Nézd csak.
Valószínűleg rábukkantam a projekt helyszínére. Nehéz megmondani, hogy mennyi marad hátra belőle, ami veszélybe sodorhatja a munkánkat, ha a kombány megtalálja. Persze jobban meg kell majd vizsgálnunk, de néhány óra múlva már pontosabb véleményt formálhatok. Ha ott van, ahol gondoljuk, akkor nem tarthat tovább. Rövidre kell fognom, lehet, hogy felfedtek minket.
Hol a fenében van? Komoly bajban van. El kell vinnünk ezt, meg az adatcsomagot apuhoz. Ő tudni fogja, mi legyen. A csomag lemásolódott. Itt is van ebben. Most pedig húzzunk el innen. Hűha, ezt biztosan érezték. Biztosítottam egy liftet. Erre van. Gyere! Futás! Úgy érzed, nem akarják, hogy ezt elolvassuk. Ez a lift elvisz minket a perronra. Ha tudunk potyázni, egyenesen kivisz minket a városból. Hé, a gravitorpuska újra a régi. Hát, jó volt, amit tartott.